Hi, I'm Erica Brooke, and today on Health and Wellness, I'll be speaking with Larry Rubin, the Executive Director of Adults with Developmental Disabilities here in Jenkintown, PA. Hi Larry, how are you today?
Good morning.
Good morning. Adults with Developmental Disabilities, otherwise known as ADD, has a long and varied history here in Jenkintown. Can you tell me a little bit about the organization and the types of services that you offer?
Sure. Adults with Developmental Disabilities started over 40 years ago, and actually started by 5 families that got together that said there had to be more for their children than just going to school or going to work. They need to have a social life. So one week, one parent would take a couple of them maybe to the movies, and 2 weeks later maybe another parent would take a group of them bowling or something. So they saw that there was a real need from the circle of friends that they were around that might have also been special needs. So we formed as a group actually called the Association for Developmental Disabilities / YAG, which stood for Young Adults Group. We started right here in Jenkintown at St. Tim's Church. And we just kept growing and growing because the need was so strong. And once people heard about what we were doing, made it exciting. And what we do is every weekend we provide a trip. And that's what makes us different than so many other groups. We're either going to sporting events in Philadelphia, we're going to all the major theaters, we do 5 major dances a year. It's just so great to see them getting involved, and the whole point of it is to teach them independence. But the other part of our program that's different is during the week, either Tuesday nights or Thursday nights, we take now 182 members we have. And when I got here in 2008, I had 124 members, so we grow by about 13% membership each year, which is pretty good. My goal was, my 5-year anniversary. I was hoping for 2,000, so I'll get there soon. I'm 2,000, not 200. I will get there soon, though. The educational pieces brings a smaller group together where first off, they get time to go around the room and talk about themselves, talk about their weeks, talk about problems. So if someone's having a problem at work, they talk about it to the group, and the group first gives them really suggestions on how to work that out. And if that doesn't work, the facilitator there is going to leave them with a final thought. And then next week, the first thing when they come in, the first thing is going to be, so Erica, last week we talked about you having a problem with someone, and we gave you, how did that work out? So it's that direct reinforcement of everything that goes on. Mm-hmm. Second part of RAP session is educational. We're teaching everything from personal hygiene to fitness, to nutrition, to cooking, because many of my members either are living in apartments by themselves, they live in group homes where they have to do work, or at home with their parents. So it's really exciting to see what this group does. Our youngest member is 18 years old, our oldest member is 68 years old. We have 7 original members who've been with me for 40 years, which is just so exciting.
That's great. Had such a great experience. It continued this long.
Yes.
So why do you think that ADD is such an important part of the healthcare community here in Philadelphia?
I think it's very important because, like you and me, you go to work, you have a family maybe, you do something for yourself socially on the weekend. You might go out with friends, you may go to the movies, you may do things like that. So why should they be any different? So what we're giving them is that independence to go out and feel like they're everyone else. We're also letting the community in Philadelphia, in the 5 counties, let them see that when a special needs person comes out, they deserve the same everything that you and I get. And if I have a second, I'll tell a really quick story which will really put it into context for you. When I got here in 2008, I set up the weekly trips for the members. So in February of 2009, we were going to the Keswick Theater. And we were seeing a group called 1964, which was a great Beatles group. I already had tickets prior to being hired, because I go every year. I'm at the box office, and for our trips, we have 2 pickup spots. One is here at the Pavilion, and the other is Crown Plaza on City Line Avenue. And we use a yellow school bus. So the yellow school bus pulls up to the Keswick Theater. I'm in line to pick up my tickets in the little foyer there. And the members come in and they're so excited to see me. Oh my God, Larry's here. It was a surprise. I didn't tell them. The woman behind me literally turns to her husband and says, "Boy, I guess we picked the wrong day to be here." It took every ounce of my will not to turn around and either slug her or say something inappropriate. I turned around nice and I said, "Ma'am, you will not have to worry about this group at all. They will be the best group here. When they will be seated, they will be quiet. When it's time to sing, they'll sing. When it's time to dance in the aisles, they'll dance in the aisles. You will not have to worry about them at all." At intermission, I don't know how the woman found me. She found me, she slipped me a check. She says, "I am so sorry, I apologize." That's what we do. We teach education to the community about special needs. When they go to ball games, when they go to other events, when they go on cruises that I've taken them on in the summertime, when the people on the cruise ship come to you and go, "Tell me more about your program." You know, your people are amazing. I saw them in karaoke last night. They were closing it down. I saw them in the casino. They were having a great time. And you want to say to them, well, why shouldn't they? They deserve everything that you and I get. So that's what makes us so exciting. That's why we're so important. In Philadelphia, or in Pennsylvania, I should say, when you're 21, you are no longer in the high school setting. There are no programs for adults with disabilities. I mean, there are, plenty of housing for them. There's some small groups that, maybe twice a month might take them places, but it's not something that's regular every weekend with the educational piece that we do. So that's what makes ADD a little different and so important for this community.
That's great. I really enjoyed hearing that story and learning about how that experience helped, change the way that woman felt, or her, preconceptions. So how exactly did you get involved with the organization, and what exactly is your background?
My background is I have a Bachelor's of Science in Public Health from Temple University with a minor in education. I originally went to work for the American Red Cross for all told over 25 years. I was downsized, and someone that sat on the board here said, "I know someone that really would be great for our organization, someone that knows how to deal with boards, how to do special events." And because I'm the only full-time staff person here as the executive director, they needed someone that can really do all the backroom stuff that is, a little more difficult for some people. I was lucky enough, I went through the interview process, and I was hired in July of 2008, and it has truly been my honor to be a part of this organization and to lead the parents. We have over 250 parents that we work with, 182 members strong. I happen to have in my family, I have a cousin who has special needs who I wish I would have known about ADD. ADD, in my mind, is still one of the best kept secrets in town, because when new parents call me, they say, "Why don't people know about you?" Why, and that's been my role since I've been here, to really spread the word about who we are. So besides that one cousin, I have another cousin in New York, so I've always had that interaction with this population and kind of a soft spot, if you want to say. And when the opportunity came up, I just jumped at it. I just thought, wow, what a great place for me to be, what a great place, what a great job they do. So it's exciting, and I guess I'm still using what I went to school for, which a lot of people can't say.
Exactly, that's great. And how is funding handled in general from donations?
My favorite thing, funding. Funding is all private for us. Our members do pay a membership fee to join our organization. They do pay for their trips during the week, but what we're able to do is offset the cost of their trips by grants that we bring in. And then, let's say a trip, my cost on a trip total with facilitators and everything might be $60 with everything included. We can offset that cost, and we would only charge them $50. But that's usually a meal, transportation, staffing. So it's been very difficult because public funding has really decreased, even grants. Younger adults with special needs, there are many grants for those, from birth to 18, 19. Once they get into their 20s, the funding is really diminished, and even what they get from the county and the state funding. And that causes a lot of problems. So my grant writer basically goes to every foundation that we can think of that we have a match for, and we get funding there. We do special events. We just did our major special event this past Monday, which we call our Key to Independence Day. It's run every year in May. That usually brings in somewhere between anywhere from $90,000 to $95,000 net for us, which is good on a $413,000 budget. So we have a very small budget to do what we do. So everything is from private donors. We do everything from the tribute cards honoring people to selling Wawa hoagies to selling coupons for Regal Theater. Anything we can to figure out a way to get a few dollars from people is the way, but it's getting tougher and tougher. When the counties had major cutbacks about 5 years ago, we lost a major grant from them, which was $20,000 a year, which we had been getting for probably 15 or so years. And then all of a sudden, without notice, you get cut. And it's like, well, where do you go to find a donor for $20,000? It's hard to make up that extra money, which sometimes they don't think about. So we need to find a better way to fund all nonprofits. And the best way we can do it is talk to our governor, people in Washington. The first thing they have to do is they made a change in how they do the budget. And they put the special needs budget all of a sudden in with welfare. Well, unfortunately, when you talk welfare, people think welfare. They don't think special needs. The special needs budgets for years and years was always under education, and we need to get them to move that money back to education. That's where we got our best funding. We have everything else going on. I actually have a meeting the first week in June with a representative from Governor Corbett's office. She is the regional director, and she's asking, again, how the governor could do better for nonprofits and funding and other things. So I'm really looking forward to sitting down with her to say, these are real strong needs, and if you don't have a system in place to help these people with social activities and learning educational pieces, then there's a problem. And the red tape that you do have in place to do it has to change. There's something known as HCSIS, which is a government-run money, and we tried to apply for money again. And I thought it was all cleared out, and then finally we sent in money for a couple of our clients to find out from them, oh no, all of a sudden we're not funding social activities and weekend activities anymore. Well, that's a core to their growth. Are they going to sporting events? Are they having fun? Yes. But what they're also doing is they're taking the education that they've learned during the week, and they're taking that and they're actually putting that into practice when they go out. When they have to finally go to a restaurant and look at a menu and order from a menu. When they're going in line in a theater, going in line properly, finding your seat, sitting down, going to the movie tavern, which is a good place we talked about earlier, great place, and going there and ordering and working with a waitress. And there's so many other skills that they're learning, and it's really how they're better interacting with the community they live in. And again, I keep repeating, teaching the independence that's our goal. I get so many calls, I know I'm a little off topic, but I get so many calls from parents saying, you know, if they're, just figured out, if their children are 50, 60 years old, what are their parents? 80s, 85. What am I gonna do with my kids? What's gonna be there for them? So we try to teach them how to do trust for them. We have great people in-house that will work with them, and a lawyer that will work with them to help set those programs up, trying to get them, some of them still live with their parents. We need to get them out of their parents' house. We need to get them get into their own housing, and maybe jointly with two people sharing a place. And that's what we need to start teaching them, so they're going to be there when their parents aren't. Their parents won't be holding their hands. And again, that's why we do our summer vacations. It teaches them, they're out with everyone else, and it's just an amazing feeling. So I got a little off topic, but it all kind of, you know, if you don't have the funds, you can't do the programs. If I can't do the funds or get the funds that I need, I can't expand. And expansion is what I'm looking to do, and I hope that's your next question.
Well, it sounds like, you know, your organization is doing amazing things, and I hope that your meeting goes well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So as far as expansion goes, how is the organization expanding currently?
Our goal is to open up a fourth, we call them our RAC groups. Right now we have one out on the main line. We have one that meets here, which we call our Elkins Park group, and we want one that meets out in Maple Glen, we call our Spring House group. Lower Bucks has a great need for services like we provide. So I'm actually looking to get, open a group out in Lower Bucks County, where I live, in Salem area. But the other thing that I'm really working on, and I've gone to Harrisburg, and we'll be going back to Harrisburg at the end of the month. My goal for this organization, and the only way we're going to grow and make our footstep a little better in what we do, is grow into different states. So I've already had inquiries from Austin, Texas, Ohio, New Jersey, because when you talk to people outside of Pennsylvania, they don't have this program. They don't understand the concept of taking them every week on programs or doing things. So my goal is to have, within the next 3 to 5 years, someone to come in and do the day-to-day operational work that I do. And I would basically go out to these different states and set up programs with their states, with their counties, train staff, train them how to get good prices and good deals on trips and stuff, and make ADD more of a national organization. So I think, because then when you go to a funder, and it all correlates with each other. If I go to a funder now, if I go to Autism Speaks, 192 members, let's hypothetically say, of the 192, I have 40 members that identify themselves as autistic. Well, that doesn't look so great to Autism Speaks, and I'm just using them as an example. They're a great organization. I don't want anyone to get it the wrong way. But now if I go back to Autism Speaks and I say, we're in 5 states, okay, and of the 5 states now, I have over 250 people now that we're serving with autism. I think I have a better chance of getting a grant, or a larger grant from one of my other funders that can be used more, you know, on a national level. So that's where I think we need to move, and I'm excited about it. I've talked to actually our president, I've talked to a couple of board members, and at our June board meeting, which is our last one of the fiscal year, I'll actually be presenting this as something that I really would like to work on for them and with them, and see if I can get their backing and support. So,
Yeah, that expansion is really exciting.
yeah, and make it all worthwhile. It would just be amazing.
So I was just curious about what kinds of events you have coming up. I know you have things planned every weekend.
Coming up
for
is
this
like
summer.
Trips to the movie tavern, we do a lot of the dinner theaters in the area, so it's everything from the Dutch Apple Theater in Lancaster to the new Candlelight Theater in Delaware. So you name the show, we're probably seeing it. A lot of sports now, you know, we take them out to the Camden River Sharks, Trenton Thunder, Phillies games. Matter of fact, on May 29th is actually Disability Awareness Night with the Phillies. So we'll have a large group out there, and actually ADD will be honored on court at home plate that day. I just finished putting together an event with the 76ers, which happened in February. It was the second annual Disability Awareness Night there, and I had other agencies. We all got recognized on court. It had been a project that I was working with the Sixers for about 5 years that finally came to fruition last year. We have a great summer vacation for them. We're taking them up to a dude ranch in upstate New York for a week, and I think they're just going to love it. It's everything from horseback riding to, I call it Dirty Dancing. If you know the movie, it's everything that they did there. If you know the New York Catskills, that's what it is. That's where we're going. And it really, it's a two-functional thing. It gives them the independence that they need. But the biggest thing our organization does, and I think the point I haven't stressed is, it's what we do for the families. What does a trip during the weekend do for a family? Okay, a normal trip might be 6 to 8 hours. Some of them are longer. Okay. So that means 6 and 8 hours that you have time with your husband, your other children that may not be special need, errands that you need to do, or just time for you, me time, as I call it, okay? So that's what we do for our parents. Now I take them away for a week. So now a lot of my parents go away that week. And what they'll do maybe the week after is come back and do another vacation with their child or something. So it really is giving that independence and the respite, it's known as respite care, for the families. And we also provide services for the families. Families call me all the time looking for different services that might be involved, where they can better get assistance. There was a program out there for free cell phones for special needs adults from a company, which was wonderful. A lot of them need it just for that kind of stuff. So that's what we have going on. I have trips already into past September and October already booked. We book early, but it's stuff they really, really enjoy. I would say if you put ADD into one word or a sentence, which we use as a couple things, is ADD is making a difference in the lives of our members, which is really exciting. And it's important that we were there for them in the beginning. When the group starts, we're here for them now, and they need to know that we'll always be there for them, that whatever it takes. Any of my time, my life, is my commitment to make sure this organization can go at least another 40 years. And all we can ask for is support from both government, from Grant, and from any people watching that might want to support us. You can go to our website at addpa.org and help support us and learn about us a little more. And I really want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to explain what ADD is.
You're welcome. I appreciate speaking with you.
Thank you.
I wish you luck.
Thanks.